Why does there have to be bats? Solo travel and solo trips have become so popular over the last little while, and they're not something that I've done too much of myself. I've decided that with Vancouver Island being such a big island to explore, I need to start going on more trips. I need to get out more, and I can't always rely on my girlfriend or my friends to be available when I go to these places. So here I am at Cowichan Lake, ready to start my first solo trip. This is actually one of the biggest lakes on Vancouver Island. There's so many beaches on this lake, there's so many places you can camp. If you ever get a chance to come to Cowichan Lake, I highly suggest you check it out. The swimming area in this dock here that I'm at is actually called Arbutus Park. And the reason they call it Arbutus Park is because there's a ton of arbutus trees right here. Arbutus trees are these beautiful broadleaf evergreen trees that are native to Vancouver Island and a little bit of the lower mainland. There's another kind of cool tucked away little beach here. This one's a little rockier. Hey, I bet that one over there gets pretty packed, so this might be another option for swimming where there's less people. So peaceful out here. So there's definitely some pros and cons to doing solo trips, and one of the cons for me is that there's actually a ton of animals on Vancouver Island. We have a massive cougar population here, so hiking by myself and being out in nature by myself kinda gives me anxiety a little bit. This trip is hugely about getting over my fears of being in the forest by myself. I'm actually headed to a place that's very underpopulated on Vancouver Island. This is just a day trip for me, but it doesn't mean that it still has its risks when it comes to the dirt roads I'll be driving on. Luckily, I'm very prepared for this with a spare tire, with gear to charge my phone, to charge my car battery, lots of food, lots of water. It's just animals I'm worried about. If I saw a bear, I probably wouldn't be too worried about it. There's something about bears that just doesn't scare me. They just kind of bumble around. It's cougars and wolves that I'm afraid of because they're the ones that stalk you, and that's terrifying. I don't want to get stalked. I'm hopefully not going to get stalked. So I'm pretty sure this waterfall I'm going to see is going to be raging right now. They're calling this an El Nino year, which means that the weather has been pretty crazy lately. So lots of rain, it's May, and it hasn't started to dry up at all. Now that's really good in the sense that waterfalls are going to be raging into June. That makes me really excited because there's a lot of places I want to go. There's a lot of places I want to show you guys. Let's go check out the Nitinat area. So far there's just so many logging trucks on this road. I've made a quick stop here just to pull over because I saw a couple coming. I'm already getting a little anxious about this whole solo trip thing out here. It's a rougher road, there's logging trucks just going by consistently, and those guys don't like to drive very slow. It's raining now, so it's slick and it's wet. I might just be overreacting about this a bit, but you know, there's some dangers. I feel like there's dangers when you come out to these places by yourself, so at least my girlfriend knows where I am, and I should be back later today, and she'll probably send somebody to rescue me if something's wrong. Biggest thing is hopefully I don't get in a car accident. So many potholes, definitely a tire killer. Really hoping my tires stay together after this. I have some pretty decent tires, but a billion potholes will do in any tires. Guess we'll just see when we get there. Check my tire pressure. So I ended up getting down that Nitinat Provincial Park Road. Felt like kind of a sketchy road to be on by myself. I mean, that's why I'm out here, I guess, is to get over this anxiety and this fear of being in these places by myself. It turns out after looking at the screenshot of World Waterfall Database that the waterfall is apparently down here. So I'm at this little pullout. There's even this little orange marker right over here, and it looks like a bushwhack, to be honest. So I'm gonna put the drone up, fly over there, see if I can see the waterfall. Yeah, I hope that I can find this. right as soon as I get the drone up. I think I found the waterfall on the river, and it starts raining. And it wasn't raining very lightly, and my drone hates rain. This is just what happens sometimes. Unfortunately, this spring has been a tough one. I might just leave because there's no point in being out here if it's just gonna rain. I'm not gonna be able to get good shots with my drone. I'll risk crashing it, and I really don't want to crash my drone. There's a few more places on the way home that are pretty cool that I'm gonna check out, so let's go see them. Some elk. Look at the elk. I just got to the Skutz River area. This is probably the nicest river I've ever seen on Vancouver Island, hands down. It might be that you need sunlight or to be here at a certain time of year to see it in its beautiful teal blue color, but I'm gonna go check it out anyways. The trail's pretty nice, the river's nice, and there's a waterfall. This is definitely a very family-friendly place. You bring your dog here, bring your kids. It's a nice, easy trail. And when it's sunny out, the water here is so teal blue, it's beautiful. I haven't been having very good luck with this weather today. One thing I am thankful for is that the waterfalls are still flowing really good right now. It's not really going as hard as I've seen it before, but hey, still pretty cool. Well, I'm glad I found that. It's about to turn around. Couldn't remember where it was. Even with the Skutz area being a pretty popular spot, there's barely anybody here right now, so I feel a little sketched out that I left my bear mace as well as my cougar horn in the car. But hey, I'm gonna have to get used to this if I'm gonna start doing day trips alone and even traveling alone. Not sure if those are bats or birds up there, but it's probably a good time to go now. I'm gonna make one more quick stop on this trip before we call it done. One thing I really like about these solo trips, you know, solo day trips, and I'll probably like about solo travel, is that I get to make my own schedule. I don't really have to go home, you know, at any certain point. My friends and my girlfriend are pretty good about adventuring and wanting to see more and stay out and stuff, but it does feel nice having that control. It does feel nice having that freedom for sure so far. Goodbye, Skutz River. Goodbye, bats. Ugh, I hate bats. There just shouldn't be bats. All right, so I just got here to my last stop. I rushed here to come check this out really quick before it gets too dark to see anything. One more waterfall. That's what I love about traveling solo, is I can stay out till dark if I want. Well, I mean, I push Kelsey and my friends to do that with me often as well, but hey, this is great. This is awesome. I get to go check out one more waterfall, so I'm gonna run down there now quick and go see this. All right, so it's now dark. This has been a fun day. So what are my thoughts on solo day trips, on solo travel? I love it. This has been such a cool experience. It is nice to travel with people. I think it might get lonely over time, but just the freedom, just being able to do all this is so empowering. Not having to be home at a certain time when other people are getting tired and you're not, you're able to just keep going. Now, as far as Nitinat River goes, I have no idea if that was Nitinat Falls. The one I flew over back in Nitinat there said it was Nitinat Falls on the map, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it was the Nitinat Falls that I've seen in pictures that other people have been to. There's actually tons of huge waterfalls that I personally found that aren't listed on World Waterfall Database. So while it's an amazing site and probably my favorite site to find waterfalls, it's not always accurate. Anyways, if you guys like waterfalls, as always, subscribe, smash the like button, and no more bats.